Good evening, everyone. I'm Faraz Rupani, and it's my honor to welcome you all for today's webinar. We are gathered here to discuss something that touches all of us very deeply: the role of teachers in holistic development of children. In the modern world, the role of a teacher goes far beyond imparting academic knowledge. They shape the future of their students not just intellectually, but emotionally, socially, and creatively. Today, we will dive into how teachers can create a nurturing environment that fosters well rounded, resilient, and empathetic individuals who are prepared to face tomorrow's challenges. I'm confident that this session will provide all of us, whether educators, parents, or community leaders, valuable insights into the impact of holistic development on a child's life. Before we move ahead, let me take a moment to introduce our esteemed guests today. First, I'm delighted to introduce Mr. Swapnil Tembe, an IS officer currently serving as the State Project Director with the Government of Meghalaya. Mr. Tembe has been at the forefront of education reforms and community empowerment initiatives in the region, making a significant difference in the lives of countless children. Our second guest today, Mr. Shivvads, a renowned educational influencer whose innovative and creative approaches have made a profound impact on the education community. His ability to connect with both educators and the students has been instrumental in shaping modern learning methods. Moderating today's session is Dr. Manjeet Legha, the Professional Skills Head at HCL Technologies. With her extensive background in professional skills development and leaderships, Dr. Legha will guide us through today's discussion on the critical role teachers play in the holistic development of our children. Before we dive into our core discussion today, I would like to take an opportunity to briefly introduce to you about UPAY, an organization that is making a real life difference in the lives of underprivileged children across India. The journey of UPAY began in the year of 2010 with a vision to address the issue of educational inequality across the country. It all started in a small village called Kumbhari near Nagpur, Maharashtra, where Mr. Varun Srivastava, along with his few friends, recognized that children were missing out on their basic right to education. Despite early challenges, UPAY's volunteers pressed forward, and with the support of few community members, the first educational center was set up in Kumbhari. What began as a small initiative now stands tall as a beacon of hope for many across India. Since then, UPAY has grown tremendously, impacting over 2.3 lakh lives across India, spanning locations such as Delhi, Nagpur, Bangalore, Gurgaon, Pune, Modha, Gadarwara, and more recently, Meghalaya and Kolkata. Our primary focus is on providing quality education to underprivileged children, but our work does not stop there. At UPAY, we adopt a truly holistic approach to child development, ensuring that every child we support is nurtured in a way that prepares them not just for examination, but for life. UPAY focuses on five key areas. First being physical development, encouraging physical activity and healthy living by promoting sports, exercises, and a balanced lifestyle to help children stay fit and active. Second being social development, fostering team network, communications, and community involvement, helping children develop strong interpersonal skills and a sense of social responsibility. Thirdly, emotional development, focusing on emotional intelligence, building confidence, and helping children manage their emotions while fostering positive relationships and resilience. Fourth being moral development, teaching values, ethics, and respect for others, ensuring that children grow with a strong sense of integrity and responsibility. And the last being, and the very most important for us, is intellectual development, encouraging critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving skills to ensure that children not only excel academically, but also develop the cognitive abilities needed to navigate complex life challenges. This holistic approach ensures that we are not just preparing students academically, but also helping them develop into well rounded, empowered individuals who can contribute positively to the society. UPAY's mission to transform education and uplift communities is realized through several impactful initiatives, each designed to create lasting impacts. At the core of these missions are reach and teach centers, where underprivileged children receive not only quality education, but also holistic development, becoming ambassadors of UPAY in their own communities. Another flagship initiative of UPAY is Footpath Shala centers, which bring education directly to the street children who lack access to formal schooling by turning footpaths into classrooms, offering them a chance at a better future. UPAY's day boarding centers, designed specifically for street children, provide a school like environment focused on education, vocational skills, and healthcare. These centers ensure well rounded development and provide after class meal support to combat malnutrition. In addition, UPAY has established community libraries in villages and slums, offering young learners a space to pursue higher education, prepare for competitive examinations. These libraries are a testament of UPAY's commitment to fostering academic growth. The Summer Skill Development Centers, also known as SDC centers, empower women, especially mothers of UPAY students, with vocational training, enabling them to gain financial independence and contribute to their family's well being. Lastly, sabkasaman.com, UPAY's e-commerce platform, provides artisans from communities with access to online markets, helping them sell their handmade products and sustain their livelihoods. Through these initiatives, UPAY not only ensures quality education for children, but also strengthens communities with opportunities for skill development, financial empowerment, and holistic growth. With this overview of UPAY's work, I hope you all have a clear picture of how UPAY's education and holistic development approach are at the core of everything that we do. UPAY's initiative go far beyond academics to empower entire communities, helping children and their families to rise above their circumstances. Now, let's turn our focus to today's core discussion on how teachers play a pivotal role in the holistic development. I'll hand it over to our esteemed moderator, Dr. Manjeet, to lead the conversation ahead. Dr. Manjeet, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Farhar, for this wonderful run up to all that noble and awesome work that is being done by UPAY and all for the sake of children. Our common focus of conversation today is the child and the development of the child, the holistic, the 360-degree development of child is the focus of the 21st century education system as well as educators. So nothing brings me greater joy and delight and honor and pleasure, however many adjectives I can use, to be on this platform, to be talking about children and education, a cause which has been my passion, my vocation, as well as my profession over the last 24 years. So I'm delighted to be here. Thank you so much for having me over Team UPAY. It's always a pleasure to be connecting with you. And today we are joined with two young, absolutely dynamic, Joshila, educators who are going to be throwing a lot of light and talking from their heart, from their experiences. They will bring us a practitioner's view, an expert's view, and together we hope that through our collective experiences, through our conversations, the educators who've joined us today will go back home richer, go back to their schools richer, go back to their classrooms a lot richer with a kit, with a toolkit on how to nurture children and students under their care. So with this, I am going to request Team UPAY to throw some more light on Swapnil, who's joined us today. He carries immense experience, and I don't think I can do much justice in introducing the kind of work and the kind of legacy he carries. So over to you, UPAY, for yes, the introduction to Swapnil Tambe.
Welcome to today's inspiring webinar organized by UPAY. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, IAS officer Swapnil Tembe, a member of 2015 batch of the Indian Administrative Service and is currently serving in the beautiful state of Meghalaya, India. He is also a member of the Indian Educator Association. With an impressive background that includes a BTech from IIT Kharagpur, Mr. Tembe has made a significant contribution in various fields. Before his current position, he served as an assistant commissioner in the Indian Revenue Service and as an assistant commandant in the Indo-Tibetan Border Police Force. His extensive experience in both administrative and field roles has been marked by a steadfast commitment to improving public service delivery and advancing developmental initiatives. Through his YouTube channel, he shares real life experiences from the field, documenting his initiatives to enhance public service delivery and create awareness about various government schemes and projects. His videos on career counseling and UPSC preparation have inspired and guided countless aspirants. I would like to thank Mr. Swapnil Tembe for being here with us today.
All right. So welcome on behalf of everybody who's joined us today, Swapnil. And we will be getting into, a lot of conversation with you, uh, diving into, the rich experience that you have. And I think Faraz is ready to introduce our next guest speaker for today, Shiv Watts, who is popularly, I believe, known as English Wale Sir. Over to you.
We view teaching. Known to his followers as English Valley Sir, he is not your typical teacher. He is an educational influencer and a dedicated teacher at the Directorate of Education Delhi. With a strong passion for both teaching and making learning fun, Shiv shares innovative classroom strategies from managing noisy classrooms to simplifying concepts like addition. Shiv's unique day in the life approach offers a refreshing glimpse into the life of a passionate government school teacher. What sets him apart is his genuine desire to connect with both educators and students without pushing products or courses. Instead, he uses his platform to share his journey and engage with his audience on a personal level. Through his content, he not only captures the heart of teaching but also dispels myths about the ease of government school teaching, revealing the true dedication behind the role. We're thrilled to have Shiv Watts with us today to share his insights on how teachers can play a pivotal role in the holistic development of children. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you, Team UPAY, and we'll dive in straight into the core topic of conversation for today. Swapnil, if I may ask you, please, that what do you mean by holistic development of children? We've always assumed child development, if I say in terms of education, to be solely and wholly cognitive, but the world and a lot of research tells us otherwise. But what do you think? What all involves holistic development of children?
Thank you for that question. And right at the outset, I want to thank the UPAY team for inviting me on this webinar. Holistic child development, I mean, it's a very broad term. And of course, it will be difficult to define in like 5 minutes, but I'll try my best. So I've been in education for the last couple of years as director school education. But of course, before that, when you are posted in the field as SDM or as a district magistrate, education is always the one of the most important things in any platform. So in a way, I have always been in touch with education. My father was also a teacher. So while growing up, also I have seen all that. Holistic child development, I would say the first and very important thing which the national education policy also highlights is the foundational numeracy and literacy. In short, it's known as FLN. So the idea is the 3 to 8 age group, which is there. The focus of the government is now that in this age group, they should have all these basic skills of numeracy and literacy, which is the foundation of the further studies, which they will be going to the next level. So this, to ensure this, so it is very surprising fact that this seems like a very simple fact that, yes, I mean, in any school, you would see that basic skills children will have. But when we go to rural areas, and essentially I'll take the example of Meghalaya, which is 85% rural. So we find this very difficult, that even the simplest of like foundational numeracy and literacy is missing. So rightly, NEP has pointed that out. And even Government of India has launched Nipun Bharat mission for this to improve the foundational. So basically, we're working with pre-primary and the early stages of lower primary to improve this, because this forms the foundation. So this is the first and a very important aspect of the holistic child development. Then, other than education, so since this is all about teachers and we all are from the education field, but we cannot deny the fact that there are some categories like nutrition and health, which are very, very important. When we see ECD, early childhood development, is now becoming a very core area in education also. Because by the time they are 5 years and 8 years, like 80% of their brain development has already happened. So it's very important that the focus is on also nutrition, is also on health. Uh, Even the Ministry of Education, Government of India, has been following this up, and there is now increased focus on nutrition and health. I want to give a special example from Government of Meghalaya. So we have something called School Health and Wellness Ambassadors. So every school now, we are trying, more than 2,000 schools now have this School Health and Wellness Ambassadors. So it's very important that we take care of the health of children, because if health and nutrition are not taken care of, then learning will not happen. So these two are the foundations along with FLN. Then also is important life skills. Of course, like if we look at the syllabus, the curriculum, the NCF, the SCF, there's a lot of focus on academics. But now, as with NEP, the focus is shifting towards giving them life skills. I want to quote from NEP a very important term, phrase rather, which they use, that it is not just important to make them learn, our children, it is more important and most important to make them learn how to learn. So that it gives the crux of NEP, that we as teachers, educators, and administrators, we should empower children to learn to learn. I mean, they should be given all those tools, platforms, and then it's up to them what they want to learn. So this is very important, and for this, I feel in whenever I take career counseling sessions, I always tell to all the students and all the educators out there, these three C's are very important. One is communication skills. Then confidence is very important. We have to inculcate that confidence in our students. And the third is competence in whatever they want to do. So these three C's, if they can conquer, they can achieve anything. And lastly, I would want to give one example from Meghalaya. So we have started a special program to ensure all this, which is called Spark, which is School Program for Articulation, Resilience, and Kindness. So at the end of the day, I mean, when we talk of holistic child development, what is the purpose of education? It's also to ensure that good human beings are coming out of the system of education. So that's also important. So the kindness is for that. Articulation is that they are having all the skills, and resilience is that they don't give up and they put in the hard work in whatever they want to achieve. So this is this program which we have started, Spark, that sums up our idea of holistic child development. Thank you.
Wonderful. It is so interesting to learn, the kind of awesome work being done in the beautiful state that you represent, Meghalaya. I remember being in the Northeast as an army officer's wife, and I've tasted and I've seen there, I've taught in a couple of schools over there, and I've dealt with early childhood for a good 10 years, dirtied my hands over there, formulated some policies, and, basically, I remember my focus always been to shift from rote learning to experiential learning. And that is exactly, in a nutshell, what NEP 2020 is talking about. That, as Swapnil said, it is not only about, the curriculum, what to learn, but how to learn. No more rote learning, fall in love with learning. And for this, personally, I use a lot of storytelling strategies with all learners. Even on my YouTube, I try to engage them with concepts, with values. As you said in Spark, kindness is paramount, right? And now, kindness, gone are those days, when I was in school, there was a moral science book, and at the end of it, there was a moral. Okay, always tell the truth. Today, children don't understand that. So you have to tell them what is truth, because truth is not very tangible. तो वो कैसे स्टोरीज के थ्रू बताते हैं हम उनको. वी हेल्प देम रिलेट टू इट एंड ऑल दैट. एंड एप्लीकेशन. सो NEP for me means a lot of application oriented. How do you apply? For instance, if children say that I was in Punjab, everyone was saying B for ball, and one child said B for butta. Butta means a plant. So I appreciated, and the teacher was giving dirty looks to the child. I said, no, he's got the concept all right. We need to encourage that. And when I was in Ladakh once, so S for snow, S is for snow rather than even sun, because they see a lot more of the snow than they see the sun. Or F is for not fan, because they hardly see the fan over there. So based on, known to unknown. Take the children from known to unknown. Keep compassion over there. No rote learning, right? Experiential, hands-on, storytelling, poetry, fun over there, Let them scribble, sensorial, let them feel what they are learning, and all that. Feel is not through just classroom materials, but, through the body language of the teacher. And one more point, which I would just like to add on for the benefit of our all the educators who've joined in there, that holistic development is not just for the children, it is for the teachers as well. So my dear teachers, there's a saying, no, कि भूखे पेट आप दान भी नहीं कर सकते. So till such time you are not holistically developed, you don't have your unlearn to learn attitude in place, how will you facilitate the children under your care? So I can see Shiv, getting very excited to talk about his thoughts on what does he understand by holistic development. Shiv, all yours.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, UPAY Foundation, for giving me this stage. And good evening, Swapnil sir, Manjit ma'am, and Fraz sir. बहुत कुछ तो स्वप्निल सर ने डिस्कस कर दिया regarding holistic development. I'd like to just add on few things that there are particular, if I have to put things in a sphere. So the 5 key points that UPAY is working on, they are the parts of holistic development of a child. Other than that, there are things like aesthetic development of a child, spiritual development of in a child. So the wholesome personality, the idea of wholesome personality, to me, that is the holistic development, where आप बच्चे की हर एक क्या कहते हैं इसको ट्रेड पे काम कर रहे हैं, and because not every child is as intelligent as the other one, right? Not every child is as artistic as the other one. Someone is good at sports, someone is good at something else. So holistic development is like कि चलो आपके उस स्किल को तो मैं बढ़ाऊंगा personally, and बाकी चीजों को at par लेके चलते हैं. So that is something what holistic development means to me. In addition, like Swapnil sir has already mentioned, it is important that how to learn, not only what to learn, how to learn. There's this extension of that is that we need to relearn, because at grassroots level where I teach, children pick up certain things from their neighborhood or from school playground or another areas, right? So there's this scope where the teacher comes in and tells you, okay, this is right or wrong, this was done in the right manner or not. So it is important to know what to relearn. इसको अब छोड़ना है, इसको दोबारा से इस तरीके से करना. It could be the habits, what the child is picking up, or anything. For example, if it is like too academically to me, the child is putting his finger below a word while reading something. So to me, that is like a negativity when it comes to grade 4. Now I want them to not put the finger uh, below every word, because it reduces the eye span of the child. So I'm teaching them, okay, now we are not going to read like एक एक उंगली रख के एक शब्द के नीचे. But when they were in grade 1 or grade 2, they were taught like this. So they learned it in a previous stage. Now it is time to relearn. Now we are not going to, because suppose if you give me a paragraph to read right now and I'm like putting my finger below it, you will find it little awkward. So that is one thing. Then there are the habits which we need to relearn. So my practices are particularly towards directed towards these holistic things, that okay, I have to work on their cognitive, their moral, their social skills, their spiritual and aesthetic development. For example, when it comes to aesthetic development, I try to put like many colors in my classroom. If you see the walls in my classroom, they are colorful. If you see the boardwork that I do, it involves colors. So why? Because primary children, the class grade 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, they are attracted to such things, and then certain things develop their aesthetics. They get to know कि अच्छा सर ये सुंदर है, सर ये अच्छा है. For example, I still remember a couple of weeks back, we were putting some charts in my classroom. So I had like this yellow chart, red chart, and then the brown chart. So I was like कि चलो मुझे बताओ मैं कौन से को पेयर करूं. तो few were like कि सर yellow and red को पेयर करते हैं, few were like कि सर red and brown को पेयर करते हैं. तो eventually the majority of them came up कि नहीं सर, you should go with brown and yellow, वो ज्यादा अच्छा लगता है. Yellow थोड़ा सा तेज हो गया और brown थोड़ा सा ठीक है. So you see, the children, they pick up on their own. You just need to give them that platform. So there are many things that we do. So holistic is the wholesome personality of a child to me.
Absolutely, very well said, Shiv. And I think अभी एक request हमें आई है कि हम थोड़ा English में बात करें for the benefit of the larger audience over there. So well noted, हम कोशिश करेंगे कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग हमारे साथ समझ सकें कि हम क्या क्या बात कर रहे हैं, because language is shouldn't be a barrier, right? So अभी जो शिव ने बोला very interestingly कि उंगली रखकर पढ़ना. So all the educators who are there, remember what we were always taught कि there are two ways, दो तरीके होते हैं फोनिक पढ़ने के. बच्चे जब शुरू करते हैं, एक तो होता है फोनिक डिकोडिंग, क एट कैट, ब एट बैट. फिर जब इससे शुरू करते हैं तो मसल मेमोरी बन जाती है, राइट? सो बच्चे ऑटोमेटिकली जैसे ही सीएटी देखते हैं उसको कैट कर देते हैं. तो ये एक प्रोग्रेशन है, लेकिन बेस ये होता है, उसके बाद जाकर बच्चे उस सेकंड स्टेज पे जाते हैं. शिव, आपने जो एक बताया कि रेड और येलो को कॉम्बिनेशन करते हैं, एंड वेरियस, आपका क्लासरूम बड़े कलरफुल होते हैं. यहाँ पे मैं आपसे एक चीज पूछना चाहती हूँ कि आप बोलते हैं होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट हम सबको लेके चलना है. हमारे टीचर्स जो हैं चैलेंज्ड रहते हैं समय के लिए, टूल्स के लिए हमेशा. तो अक्सर मैंने देखा टीचर्स को कहते हुए कि हम ये कैसे कराएं, हमारे पास तो समय नहीं है, हमारे पास टूल्स नहीं है. तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि आप एक जादू का पिटारा बना के 2 4 5 पॉइंटर्स में बताएं कि क्या केवल कौन से 4 5 टूल्स या टीचिंग एड्स या पिटारा अपना हमारा है, उसमें डाल के हम कहीं भी किसी भी कॉन्सेप्ट, किसी भी एज ग्रुप को हम अच्छी तरह से फैसिलिटेट कर सकते हैं.
Basics would start from colorful chalks,
अच्छा जी.
right? Especially if you are teaching younger kids, like grade 5 tak, if you are teaching them, you should have colorful chalks in your bag, right? Because colors attract them. Then there are colorful sheets. Like I do a lot of things with sheets, like colorful paper, A4 size paper. So then there are charts, and I believe everyone has a tablet, or like AV8s are there with most of us, right? So given these 3 4 things, we can easily like change what the traditional teaching has been since like time immemorial. For example, I put I try कि बोर्ड की मदद से बहुत कम पढ़ा. For example, if I want to go for their moral development, like I can easily write something on the board कि चलो आज हम let's write a letter to God and give me the points. So they'll give me the points कि what do they want from God or not. Or either I can do one thing is I can take those A4 size colorful sheets, hand over to the kids. Okay, अपने हिसाब से आप लोग अपने अपनी sheets ले लीजिए, ठीक है? Now you write a letter to God. I'll assess it afterwards and write it in any language, write it with any grammar. I do not mind. So that is the difference. I hope you can understand. But the later thing is when you are handing over the sheets, you are assessing the sheets, that requires a little bit more time, right? So you need to be patient. You need to be like empathetic as well, because the child will, especially the younger one, my grade 3 ones, they are like, sir kya hi likhe, sir bata do, aap hi bata do kya hi likhe. So you need to be patient with them. And these 3 4 things agar basic hain, so you can start with them. Other than that, it's your creativity. For example, I utilize a lot of stickers uh, for my kids. But earlier I used to rely on the stickers that are present in market, the butterflies or the smileys and all. Now I'm creating my own stickers. I use this app, and then via the app I try to make more interesting stickers. For example, every day when a child comes to my classroom fully dressed, his uniform is proper, I give him a dress ninja sticker. Okay, so ninja is something which is the child has seen in the cartoons, right? Every child knows. The children might not be knowing who's the president or the prime minister of India, but they know who's a ninja, right? So they are attracted to certain things. So I give them, hand over them the dress ninja stickers whenever they come in proper uniform. Now they are collecting it. Like, sir, mere paas 25, I have 27, I have 36. So when they have these stickers, so the next day they want to come in proper dress, right? And then there are plant parent stickers, good boy stickers. Like, I have almost 11 type of stickers in my collection. So I hand over these stickers. So that is also one thing which we can use. Yeah.
तो मैं आपने जो इतना कुछ स्ट्रैटेजीज बताई, तो उसको मैं एक नटशेल के लिए अपने एजुकेटर्स के लिए सम अप करती हूँ। तो सबसे पहले शिव ने बोला लॉर्ड ऑफ काइंडनेस एंड पेशेंस। हाँ, ये डीएनए है एक टीचर का। नंबर 2 उन्होंने बोला कलरफुल, पेपर चौक ले लो। अगर आपके पास पेपर नहीं है, चौक तो बंदोबस्त हो जाता है। उससे बहुत एनर्जी आती है, बिकॉज एनर्जी गोज वेयर अटेंशन फ्लोज। सो व्हेन यू यूज कलर इन योर क्लास, तो वहां पे फोकस जाता ही जाता है। देन सर ने बोला कि वो काफी कुछ इम्प्रोवाइज करने को आपको बोलते हैं। स्टिकर्स यूज करिए, राइट? चाहे वो ई स्टिकर्स या फिर रिलेटेड टू वट एवर। सो पॉजिटिव री इसको हम बोलते हैं, राइट? तो अब छोटे से बच्चे से अगर आपने उनको अल्फाबेट सिखाया, तो एक अल्फाबेट का स्टिकर ही बना के उनको भेज दीजिए। तो अगले दिन बच्चे आते हैं, मैंने बड़ी बार देखा है, वो घर जाके माँ बाप को अपना हाथ तक नहीं धोने देते, बिकॉज उनको सर से स्टिकर मिला है या मैम से एक स्टिकर मिला है, ऑल दैट, राइट? एंड यूज अ लॉट ऑफ साइन लैंग्वेज, राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज। तो बच्चे मोशन सीख गए, अपलॉज का मतलब सीख गए एंड ऑल दैट। सो मस्कुलर मूवमेंट, सो मोटर कंट्रोल, और दे चपाती क्लैप, बच्चों को हम तो ऐसे चपाती बनाते हैं ना मम्मा पापा। आजकल जेंडर नो बायस, सो हमें मम्मा के ऊपर ही नहीं स्टिक करना है, मम्मा पापा। सो गो ओवर दैट चपाती, दिस थिंग, ऑल राइट? सो लॉकडाउन क्लैप हम कराते होते थे, लॉकडाउन मतलब लॉकडाउन लॉकडाउन। सो जब नॉइज नहीं चाहिए आपको क्लास में, so go with that. So there are a lot of strategies.
Loud clap that we do in our classroom.
Yes, the silent clap that you do over there. Everyone, जब आपको नॉइज नहीं चाहिए, बिकॉज बच्चों को वापस थोड़ा फॉर्म में लेके आने के लिए एक एजुकेटर को बहुत टाइम लगता है। सो कमिंग ओवर देयर, सो देयर मेनी मोर विच वी विल कीप एडिंग ऑन। आप लोग अपने नोट्स बनाते रहिए कि क्या क्या आपने आज यहाँ से नया लेके जा रहे हैं, राइट? नाउ आई एम कमिंग टू स्वप्निल। स्वप्निल, आप आते हैं एक वेरी रिच एक्सपीरियंस फ्रॉम पॉलिसी एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव पर्सपेक्टिव से, है ना? हैविंग डेल्ट विद इट एज एन IAS ऑफिसर from the IAS lobby, state of Meghalaya. So do you want to share any policies as such जो कि NEP 2020 के लागू होने के बाद क्या होता है कि एज एजुकेटर्स ना, हमारे पास सिर्फ क्लासरूम में अपने बच्चों को मैनेज करने का टाइम होता है। तो हमारे काम को आसान करने के लिए कुछ ऐसी पॉलिसीज हुई हैं क्या, या फिर आपके स्टेट में कुछ पॉलिसीज वर्दी ऑफ मेंशनिंग ओवर हेयर फॉर होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ चिल्ड्रन, उसके बारे में कुछ, स्वप्निल?
हाँ, जो पहला क्वेश्चन था उसमें मैं थोड़ा सा कुछ ऐड करना चाहता हूँ। पहले वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट होलिस्टिक चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट। तो अभी जैसे अगर हम पहले देखें हमारे जो रिपोर्ट कार्ड्स होते थे जब हम स्कूल में थे, तो इट वाज जस्ट मार्क्स। आई थिंक इस सब्जेक्ट के जो मार्क हैं, यूनिट टेस्ट के मार्क हैं, हाफ ईयरली या एनुअल, दैट वाज इट। बट अभी नाउ we, I mean, as a policy, it also NEP talks about it. NEP में भी इसकी बात होती है, holistic progress report cards, holistic progress cards, HPCs.
HP.
So even Meghalaya has launched these, introduced, sorry, in the schools, HPCs. And from this academic year, जो अभी चल रहा है, इसमें we have replaced these report cards with holistic progress cards. So basically the idea is कि it has everything. It is, academics is just a part of it, but there are other things. Is the child learning any sport? How is he performing in sports? How is he performing in extracurricular? How is he in communication, in other life skills, in other soft skills? So it is everything. How are the parents reaction? What are they, what are their observations? How, how is he interacting with the other students? There's so many. It's like a 10 page, 20 page holistic progress card. So that shows that the way we look at things, the assessment has also changed. So that is one part of the policy change. एक दूसरा बहुत बड़ा चेंज अब आ रहा है कि we are moving from summative assessments to formative assessments. So in our time also there was one major exam, the final exam, and a half yearly, maximum 2 exams. So these were, इसके basis पे ही every evaluation assessment was done. But now NEP also advocates for this, that we move to formative assessments and we replace there shouldn't be any summative assessment. There's only formative assessment, so that जो children they don't have the burden, उनके पास इतना at the last इतनी सारे syllabus को याद करना, eventually it becomes rote learning if we go for summative assessments. So that is why आज जो भी पढ़ाया इसके बेसिस पे you do formative assessments. So it's a continuous process, maybe every day or every week or every quarter, every fortnight. So so we have to move towards that. तो ये एक major policy change है. Then the focus has also been given on vocational education a lot. NEP कहता है कि class 6 onwards there should be vocational education. So of course, I mean, it's a challenge to do that. So we in Meghalaya have at least started for the higher secondary and secondary. In 173 schools in Meghalaya, we have started that under Samagri Shiksha. So beyond the class का जो है regular classes के बाद they can take some electives. वो कुछ भी elective ले सकते हैं. It can be relating to IT, it can be relating to coding, it can be gardening, it can be arts. And then there are vocational trainers are there, and that is something like a professional development for them. So this is a major policy change, and in the coming times isko pure in from class 6th it has to be implemented, so which is a big challenge because इसके लिए फिर हमको एडिशनल वोकेशनल ट्रेनर्स चाहिए, एडिशनल क्लासरूम्स चाहिए, इक्विपमेंट्स चाहिए. सो इट विल टेक टाइम, but the good thing is that it has started. So that is a big change. Then after that, there's a talk of, and there's already introduction of STEM labs in higher secondary and secondary. When we say science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, so that the focus is on that to improve to make science interesting. Basically, earlier only science was taught, from the books, and maybe there was a lab with some, limited experiment, 2-3 experiment. But now with STEMs lab, they can innovate. वो जो students को कुछ भी करना है, if they have any ideas, उनके पास कुछ ideas, they can make, bots, they can make anything. I mean, so STEM lab basically the idea is कि उनको सारे equipments दिए जाएं और उनको जो भी करना है they can make some experiment out of it. So these STEM labs are coming up. Again, a challenge of logistics, but so in Meghalaya, one very wonderful thing has happened. They are called Chief Minister's Youth Centers, CMYC. So these are special kind of centers where there are all kind of equipments are there. You have computers, you have all kind of books, all kind of fancy stuff for AI, robotics. Then we have 3D printing, etc., etc. So whatever the child needs to be creative and create something. So these centers are there, and especially all of them are in rural and remote villages. So I have also personally visited and have seen after school all the kids are here. They don't want to go home also. They are doing their stuff. They're learning from computers. They're learning coding in rural villages of Meghalaya. So this will be a game changer. So STEMs in a big way is a big policy call. Another very important policy change is that bagless days. So of course NEP has been talking about it, but so Meghalaya also, I'm happy to share that in the 5th September Teachers Day function, our Honorable Chief Minister has launched these our guidelines for bagless days in Meghalaya. So as per them, 10 days we have to start with. 10 days we, at least in every academic year, they have to, this is minimum, and of course schools can do more than that. So on these 10 days, children will not go with bags and books. So there will be a theme to it for every day. So one day is kitchen gardening, maybe one day is career counseling, one day can be sports, one day can be something else. It depends. We have given the liberty to school jo bhi karna chahte hain. So this is a big change, and it will really make learning and school more interesting. Then one more point is experiential learning. So what is happening is recently the government has launched one scheme called Prerna. So it's a beautiful scheme where in the all the seven from the all basically 700 odd districts, one boy, one girl will be selected through some kind of a competitive process, and they are being taken for to one place in Gujarat, where they are students coming from all over, and they are being given leadership module training and all kind of experiential training. So these kind of things are happening now. A lot of exchange programs. There is in JNVs, जो जवाहरलाल नवोदय विद्यालय होते हैं, उनमें एक they have this thing of exchange students, which is very good. I really for one session, like from one JNV, maybe from Meghalaya, they go to Rajasthan students come here. So ये जो cultural exchange होता है, exchange of ideas, this unity in diversity, it just promotes the idea of that. So that these kind of experiential programs are happening a lot. And then, so these are the major policy new things. There are many, but I think these, to sum up, I think these are the highlights of the recent changes which have been made in policy.
थैंक यू स्वप्निल। और फिर बिफोर आई जस्ट वांट टू रीइटरेट, हमारे एजुकेटर्स जो यहाँ पर हैं वो सोच रहे होंगे कि हमें पॉलिसी से क्या लेना देना, या हमें इसके बारे में क्यों जानना चाहिए। यू सी, गॉन आर दोस डेज व्हेन आप एक डिग्री लेके या उसको किताब बंद करके सारी उम्र के लिए अपने जॉब में सेट हो जाते थे एंड फिनिश। टुडे every educator, every engineer, every software developer, every profession requires you to unlearn and learn. वो किस लिए बच्चों? वो इसलिए because the pace at which digitize हो रहा है हमारा ये world is immense, ठीक है। So changes इतनी आ रही हैं कि आपको, चाहे वो आफ्टर स्कूल में पढ़ा रहे हो आप, चाहे वो आप स्टेट बोर्ड में हो, चाहे आप सीबीएसई में हो, चाहे आप सीनियर सेकेंडरी में हो, वेर एवर, चाहे आप वोकेशनल में हो, आपको पूरी पिक्चर, पूरी कहानी जानने की आवश्यकता जरूर है। All right, so that's the reason why all of you are over here today. सर ने बोला HPC, वेरी गुड। अगेन याद करो पंचकोश, ठीक है, ये हमारी संस्था से ही आ रहा है। होलिस्टिक प्रोग्रेस कोड, प्रोग्रेस कार्ड इज अगेन बेस्ड ऑन जो आप 5 वैल्यू सिस्टम आपने खुद ही शुरू में इंट्रोड्यूस कराया, लैंग्वेज एंड कॉग्निटिव एंड इमोशनल एंड सोशल एंड वैल्यू बेस्ड एंड ऑल। सो उसको सिंप्लीफाई करके उसका ये मतलब है आपके लिए, तो आपको वो करना ही करना है, राइट। फॉर्मेटिव असेसमेंट किस लिए करनी है? फॉर्मेटिव, समेटिव होता था एंड ऑफ द ईयर करा, बच्चे के 30 आउट ऑफ 100 आए, फेल, ठकैक, दोबारा रिपीट करो क्लास। अब वो टाइम भी गया। फॉर्मेटिव का मतलब है वहीं के वहीं पे करेक्टिव एक्शन लेना है आपको। हफ्ते के हफ्ते जब आपने फॉर्मेटिव असेसमेंट करी, तब उसी असेसमेंट के नतीजे को प्लग इन करके आपने देखना है कि आपकी लर्निंग, आपके स्टूडेंट की लर्निंग बेटर कैसे हो सकती है। बैगलेस डेज आर नो लॉन्गर फ्री डेज। हमारे टाइम पे बैगलेस डेज होते थे, मतलब बच्चों को प्लेग्राउंड में भेजो, खत्म। आजकल ब्लैकनेस डेज का भी एक एजेंडा है। ब्यूटिफुल स्ट्रेस विच सीबीएसई हैज लेड ऑफ, आई मीन द एनईपी हैज लेड ऑफ, कि आप उसको यूज कीजिए। अभी तक उन्होंने स्कूल्स को लिबर्टी दी है, तो बहुत सारे स्कूल बहुत ब्यूटिफुली उसको यूज कर रहे हैं। कीप सर्चिंग फॉर आइडियाज फॉर बैकलेस डेज, ऑलराइट। Another thing which is there is interdisciplinary now. NEP talks about maths in English, English in maths, है ना? कि आप इंग्लिश पढ़ा रहे हो, how many fans in your school? That is maths. You go and count, you come back and talk. That way, instead of just counting on fingers, you actually go down practical application. आपके स्कूल तक पहुंचने तक आपने कितने स्पीड ब्रेकर क्रॉस करे? Practical application, maths in conversation, all right, whatever language you use. So there is interdisciplinary. Today the lines between subjects are blurring. Again, NEP has pushed this, all right. जो सर ने लैब्स बताई उसको आप लोग शायद अटल टिंकरिंग लैब्स के नाम से जानते होंगे, ATL labs and all. वो is, of course there are challenges over there, you know, infra and funds and all that, but these are happening. You should keep it in your mind. The STEM labs, the ATL labs over there. एक चीज आपको और ख्याल रखनी है कि with all the digitization coming in, digital safety is a huge subject for all of us to take. All right. And Prerna, I love this idea. Swapnil ji, I wish we could implement it everywhere. Prerna is a wonderful idea. Leadership at grassroots. शुरू से बच्चे को leadership position scenarios में डालिए कि बेटा आपके पास एक टीम है, 10 लोगों की टीम है, ये पहाड़ चढ़ना है, 5 लोग बिल्कुल ही अनफिट है, उनको क्या करोगे? छोड़ जाओगे? साथ लेके जाओगे? साथ लेके जाओगे? कैसे लेके जाओगे? क्या डेवलप करोगे, etc. Scenario building over there, right? Leadership, very, very important. All right. So with this, I'm going to jump now to English वाले सर. English वाले सर, मैंने और स्वप्निल ने शायद बहुत सारा ज्ञान दिया, राइट? बट आप अभी ग्रास रूट लेवल पर हैं, तो आप क्या सोचते हैं, चैलेंजेस क्या क्या है हमारे फ्रॉम अ टीचर पर्सपेक्टिव? पॉलिसी बनाना एक चीज है, लेकिन चैलेंजेस उसी को आते हैं सोल्जर ऑन ग्राउंड.
If I have to talk about the challenges that teachers are facing these days, so the first one would be the time management thing. Because मेरे भी जो लोग मुझसे जुड़े हुए हैं, they are like कि how you are managing things. आप कैसे कर पा रहे हैं? Like, don't you have any other school charge? या फिर like how is it possible? So time is one thing, and then the syllabus thing कि course कैसे complete हो रहा है. And the third thing is the parents' pressure. For example, the parents are always like कि notebook में तो उतना काम नहीं होता है, copy तो भरती नहीं है. This is like a pet dialogue my parents used to use a couple of years back, but अब comparatively कम हो गया है. So these are three, and then the resources. Yes, at times, like if I talk about someone who's following me from Uttarakhand, from Kashmir, Gujarat, so they tell me कि we do not get such funds from school. Like my school stationery is open to me, no, open to all the teachers. Like to me, it's like कि आपको अगर stationery में भी कुछ ना मिले तो आप principal office से जाके कुछ भी उठा लो. They are like that good to me. But then there are the people who are working in rural places, far off places, तो उनको वो stationery नहीं है, available है, resources available नहीं है. So these are certain things that I like encounter every day with the followers. बाकी तो, to be very honest, all challenges can be met. To be very honest, I truly believe this because I
Harshit,
have taught. Yeah.
सॉरी, मैं आपको यहाँ से इंटरप्ट करके यही पूछूंगी कि टाइम मैनेजमेंट चैलेंज को कैसे हैंडल करें टीचर्स?
See, like if you go to school at 7, let's say your school starts at 7, I do not think students will be there. You have half an hour, right, to set up your class. For example, let's take my example only, my school's example. I go to school at 12 o'clock. My students, they come at 1 o'clock, right? So I have that buffer of 1 hour. तो उस एक घंटे में मैं बहुत कुछ कर सकता हूँ. Then my students, they leave at 5:40 in the evening, and मेरी छुट्टी होती है 6:30 बजे. Again, I have like 30 to 40 minutes. तो I can again 50 minutes I can do much things. For example, जैसे अभी मैं activities कर रहा हूँ, तो एक बहुत बड़ा जो challenge मेरे लिए होता है कि notebooks correction कब करूंगा मैं. तो एट टाइम्स जब लगता है कि 2 दिन हो गए नोटबुक करेक्शन नहीं हुई है, आई कीप देम विद मी. तो 5:30 के बाद 5:40 के बाद मैं नोटबुक करेक्शन करता हूँ, साइड में लिख देता हूँ जो भी एरर्स हैं बच्चों की. सो यू हैव टू मैनेज इट ऑन योर ओन. रिसर्च टाइम है. इफ यू आर एक्सपीरियंशियल टीचिंग में अगर आप घुस गए हैं, तो यू नीड टू मेक योर ओन टाइम. सिस्टम बदलेगा तब बदलेगा. यू नीड टू बी स्मार्ट इनफ कि कौन से मुझे टिटबिट्स निकालने हैं. इफ आई एम प्लानिंग एन एक्टिविटी, मैंने घर पे कुछ काम नहीं किया, मुझे 5 बजे एक्टिविटी करानी है. मुझे 2.5 साल हो गया मैम, मैंने कोई भी आज तक ऐसा वर्किंग डे नहीं है जिस दिन मैंने 5 से 5:30 के बीच में एक एक्टिविटी नहीं कराई है. पिछले 2.5 साल से जिस दिन मैं स्कूल गया हूँ, मेरी क्लास में एक एक्टिविटी हुई है. अगर कुछ भी एक्टिविटी नहीं हुई, मैंने बच्चों के हैंड्स पेंट कर दिए. मैं कहा चलो इन्हीं को हैंड प्रिंट करते हैं. बट वी विल डू एनीथिंग, वी विल डू समथिंग, दैट इज द गोल. सो अगर मुझे नहीं करना तो बच्चों को बोर्ड से रिटर्न वर्क हर कोई देता है. आई ऑल्सो गिव, आई वॉन्ट देम टू डेवलप दीज फाइन मोटर स्किल्स, नो. तो at that time when they are busy in writing, they are taking their 15-20 minutes to write, I am cutting papers, I am making some sketches, I am doing something. So that is how you manage time. Like, you need to steal your time.
Yeah. So what I'm gathering from you, all the educators over there, number one enemy of time management is procrastination. आज करे सो कल करे सो परसों, और फिर कभी भी नहीं आएगा नरसों. And then, it all just keeps getting delayed. Second point, which Shiv is trying to make is utilize AI for doing uh, your lesson plan work, in the sense के न्यू थिंग्स क्या करूं मैं आज, आइडिया वहां पे लीजिए और अपनी एनर्जी और टाइम को इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में ज्यादा स्पेंड कीजिए. बिकॉज नाउ एआई इज अ ह्यूज हेल्प. आप
Yeah.
एक टाइप करेंगे 100 आइडियाज आ जाते हैं, लेकिन करने वाले आप ही हो. एक रोबोट, एक बॉट आके आपकी बजाय वो नहीं कर सकता है. Wonderful, fantastic. Swapnil, given your range of experience, having worked, in this sector over there, आप कोई सक्सेस स्टोरी बताएंगे या कुछ ऐसा इंस्पिरेशनल स्टोरी जो आपके दिल को टच कर गई हो, कोई इंसिडेंट, कोई एनीथिंग which is motivational for our educators over here?
Yeah, sure. There are many. So I'll just select the best ones. One is that in terms of success stories, एक हमने यहाँ पे जैसे मेघालय में roughly around 15,000 schools are there. So that is a big number for a small state. The thing is that as I said, ये mostly rural area है, तो spread out है थोड़ा. The population is and it's a difficult terrain, all hilly terrain. Mostly 80-85% is hilly terrain. So RTE कहता है कि हर 1 किलोमीटर 2 किलोमीटर में स्कूल होना है. तो because of that there are like huge number of schools. So that becomes a challenge. So of course government is doing what government can, but उनके अलावा भी कई लोग contribute करना चाहते हैं. जैसे alumni, जैसे हम अगर किसी स्कूल से हैं, I am from a KV, मैंने KV कटनी से पढ़ाई की. So if I get a chance, whenever I see a KV, I become very emotional and I want to help them. I have done, I think, more than 100 career counseling sessions in KVs. So as a alumni, we feel कि हमें कुछ करना चाहिए. तो टू कनेक्ट, देर आर पीपल. सो बेसिकली देर आर पीपल जो स्कूल के लिए कुछ करना चाहते हैं, एजुकेशन के लिए कुछ करना चाहते हैं. देर आर कंपनीज, देर आर फाउंडेशंस. आई मीन, सो वी मेड अ पोर्टल. हमने यहाँ पे एक अडॉप्ट स्कूल का पोर्टल बनाया लास्ट ईयर. एंड द आइडिया इज स्कूल whatever additional requirements उनके हैं, they can upload on this portal, and donors can go and see whatever, because they keep on asking sometimes us as officers or deputy commissioners कि we want to do something for education. So इन दोनों को connect करते हुए we made a portal which is adoptschool.org, which is a government of Meghalaya portal. So इसमें more than 200 schools have been adopted since we launched, and many things have happened. Many big things like foundations have come, installed solar electricity setup in rural schools which had not any kind of electricity. They have renovated the buildings, they have given books, they have given. So the idea is कि आप कुछ भी जो भी आप करना चाहते हैं किसी स्कूल के लिए will connect you to the school which is in requirement. So this was one very important intervention. Then I would say another is school nutrition gardens. So in our state, we have on 29th of April this year, we celebrated School Nutrition Garden Day. So इसमें because there is a scheme called PM Poshan under which elementary school में government schools में this meal is given. Midday पहले उसको midday meal scheme बोलते थे, अब now the name has changed. So we thought and these schools, if they have nutrition gardens, nutrition garden is basically kitchen garden. So where the students learn how to plant vegetables and fruits and how to nurture them, and when they grow they will take the benefit, and jo unko midday meal mein it will act as a supplementary addition to their midday meal and all. So we have seen great benefits of this. So I think last year it was only 9% of our school had school nutrition gardens. We decided कि एक हम दिन celebrate करेंगे जिसमें सारे school will come and join us, and they will start their nutrition garden. So on that day 5,000 of our school started. So from 9% we became now, as on date I just checked, it is 54% now. And our aim is that all our schools have this school nutrition garden, because we have already seen the impact of this. And just to add, when I was in the field as deputy commissioner, we started the same concept in Anganwadis, nutrition gardens. So there we saw that the vegetables which they were growing, they were sharing of course for the जो बच्चों के लिए, but जो pregnant women है उनको भी वो दे रहे थे, and then उनके भी it made a great impact in their health, the maternal health, which is a concern in our state of Meghalaya. So this school nutrition garden has been really doing well, and we are hopeful कि by next year all our schools will have this school nutrition gardens. Then we have introduced one more thing which is being which is seeing a lot of success, is that chess in schools. So under this program we have Meghalaya Chess Association, unke saath we have a collaboration, because chess is something it's a beautiful game which improves your cognitive skills. And there are youth, basically we were targeting who are not doing anything and just sitting. So unke liye this game is a wonderful game, and this game has been scientifically backed कि if you start at that particular age, जो children का cognitive development है, that happens very fast. So we have started this chess in school, which is doing very well. In fact, in 2 districts of Meghalaya, there are chess parks where people can just go, and people just go there and play chess. There are tables which everything is already there. So it has become like what happens in Russia. Basically, we see a lot of good Russian players dominating chess in the previous era. So there's a culture of chess. So we are bringing that to our schools also, and that is also doing very well. And one last thing I want to mention is that they tie up with the institution of higher education, gives a lot of impact and motivation to them. So we in Meghalaya there is no IIT. So the nearest one is IIT Guwahati, which is in Assam. So we have signed a MOU with them, and we have been taking our students, the science students and science teachers, to this IIT. उनको हम मतलब for a residential training and experiential as an excursion trip. I mean, they stay there, वहां रुकते हैं, they interact with the professors teach the school students. So I think as on today 3,000 4,000 students and teachers have already been there and will continue this. So isse they are highly motivated. I mean, the children, I also went there with them, and they were so happy to see a IIT. Like for the first time they went outside the state and they saw IIT, वहां पे supercomputer देखा. They were so motivated and all. So I think this tie up with the institutions of higher national importance from higher education, this also is giving us great inspiration. So these are some, there are many, but yeah, I think I'll limit it to this.
That's amazing, amazing. I love the idea of the nutrition garden and as well as a doctor school. That's wonderful. I think we would I would personally like to talk about this to you, Swapnilji. We will, connect on this, please. This is a wonderful idea. हाँ जी, इंग्लिश वाले सर, अब ये तो थे हमारे पॉलिसी वाले सर। अभी आप आए, एनी सक्सेस स्टोरीज, बिकॉज यू डील विद स्कोर्स ऑफ कितने सारे बच्चे, टीचर्स, सिचुएशंस, पेरेंट्स के साथ डील करते हैं। आपका तजुर्बा एक अलग ही किस्म का तजुर्बा है। आप बताएं
मेरा
कोई।
माय एक्सपीरियंस वुड बी लाइक, छोटे बच्चों का है तो थोड़े किस्से ही हैं, सक्सेस स्टोरीज तो खैर क्या है।
बढ़िया।
Like every day is a success. I'll come to a particular point also, but uh, भूमिका बनाऊं तो every day is a success to a primary teacher, because we are teaching them the छोटी छोटी चीजें. For example, I was teaching them कि आज हमने sentences बनाने हैं, तो we'll at least have 3 to 4 functional words, content words in our sentence. Mohit goes to principal's office to give him flowers. So अब अगर आज 30 बच्चे आए हैं एंड एटलीस्ट 22 बच्चों ने उसको सीख लिया, अपने आप से सेंटेंस बनाया, तो दैट इज अ बिग सक्सेस टू मी, राइट?
True.
सो एवरी डे इज अ सक्सेस टू अ टीचर. एंड देन प्राइमरी टीचर्स का सबसे बड़ा डर जो रहता है कि eventually they'll forget us. Eventually, once the child goes to 9 10th, then एक वो stage आएगी जब when he'll remember the TGTs, PGTs, but pre-primary teachers and primary teachers को उनको थोड़ा शायद भूल जाएंगे. But every day कभी कोई Instagram पे या कभी किसी और मीडिया पे या कभी फिजिकल फॉर्म में कोई आ जाता है, सर यू taught us 7 years back, you taught us 8 years back, सर. तो वो एक अगेन सक्सेस स्टोरी है. Now coming to a particular story, it is not related to the academics of a child. It was more of his behavior. So I was a contractual teacher, like on contract basis, per day basis, and I started teaching at that time. It was in a government school. So there was this child who was very, very like, जैसे कहते नहीं कि कॉर्नर पकड़ के बैठ गया है, and he won't speak, he won't talk to his friends, he will eat on his own. So that was like very, and औरों से वो बिल्कुल छोटी हाइट का छोटू टाइप हो गया है. So that was a big challenge कि क्यों है ऐसा, why is he like this? And being a newbie, I took his case study that I'll work upon him, and I found out the reasons, whatever they were. I talked to the parents, and for almost 6 to 8 months, I worked with him, on him, for him. And eventually, there was this PTM, I still remember. It's like a picture the mother came, she touched my feet. इसको we do make बच्चों पे, so we need to be like working in that sense also. So that was a big thing for me back then. And अभी भी I'm working on students who are, because अगर आप मेरी कोई वीडियो भी देखोगे तो they were like कि I'm always targeting those children जो कोना पकड़ लेते हैं. Being a backbencher myself, I would never visit my 6 to 12 years, because I had such bad time at my school. I do not want my children to have a bad time in my classroom. I want them to feel lucky, feel secure, feel happy. I want them to like, for example, earlier parents, again बहुत success story है. I still remember it was in 2022, after a month of when I started my this activity वाला thing. COVID खुला ही था. So there was this parent who complained against me in school administration कि ये क्या करते हैं, ये तो डेली कभी क्ले से कुछ करा रहे हैं, कभी कागज काट रहे हैं, कभी पेपर चिपका रहे हैं. So there was this complaint against me, and eventually after like 1.5 year, वो सेम पेरेंट, शी वाज सो हैप्पी, सो हैप्पी. अरे सर जी, आपने मेरे बेटे को इंग्लिश बोलना सिखा दिया सर जी. एंड आई वाज लाइक कि आई वाज डैम श्योर कि कोई भी इंग्लिश बोलेगा, ये तो नहीं बोलेगा. So eventually I called the child. I like
Yes.
talked to him. मैं कहा बस बाबू ये बताओ क्या बोला आपने. So he was like, ऐसा कुछ नहीं, मैंने कुछ नहीं बोला, मैंने बोला do not touch me. अरे don't touch me. Like I was teaching them that good touch, bad touch thing, और उसमें कुछ मैंने protocols बताए थे that what you need to, if someone is touching you, you need to shout it at the pitch of your voice.
True.
So कहते, मैं कहा क्यों, ऐसा क्या हुआ? It was alarming to me कि ऐसा. कहते नहीं, वो जो छोटा बाबू था वो मुझे परेशान करता था, तो मैंने उसको बोला don't touch me, मम्मी वहीं बैठी थी तो मैं कहा चलो at least he is learning, indirectly he was learning, he short. तो छोटी छोटी सक्सेस स्टोरीज ही हैं हमारी. एंड एक जो की पॉइंट, नॉट रिलेटेड टू दिस बट यस, एक और जो चीज मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगती है, आई ईट विद माई चिल्ड्रन एवरी डे एंड आई ट्राई कि जैसे स्वप्निल सर ने न्यूट्रिशन के ऊपर जो बात करी, कि आई माई सेल्फ टेक न्यूट्रिशनल रिच food to my classroom, and when I'm eating a salad, I'm sharing with my children, they are sharing their food with me. So that is a very big thing for classroom, और उससे अब बहुत एक change आ रहा है. My students, my kids, they do not bring cream वाला biscuits, they do not bring kurkure, lays वगैरह वगैरह, नहीं. They'll bring dry fruits now. So that is again a छोटू सा success story for me. So these success stories that I enjoy.
Wonderful. वो कहते हैं ना, drop drop fills the ocean. I know, I truly believe in that, and more power to you. And I'm sure कि बहुत ही बेहतरीन आप example set करते चलेंगे as you go along. I'll share a quick, one or two things from my side as well, because I remember कि मेरे पास एक प्रॉब्लम सिचुएशन टीचर्स लेके आए कि बच्चे एक्सरसाइज करना बहुत ही बोरिंग मानते हैं, and they don't like it at all. So I came around with a concept called the story yoga. तो मैंने एक स्टोरीज सुना के विद म्यूजिक डाल के, स्टोरीज विद एन एजुकेशनल कंटेंट बट फन कंटेंट, मस्ती वाला, साउंड डाल, इफेक्ट डाल के, मूवमेंट एंड द लैंग्वेज प्रोग्रेसेस. तो ऐसे करके, जैसे ऑफ टू द मून, चांद पे चले या आम तोड़ने चले, ऐसे करके वो बनाई. तो आज भी जहाँ मैं जिस स्कूल में जाती हूँ तो मैम वो बोलते हैं, वो स्टोरी योगा वाली मैम आ गई, एंड ऑल दैट, वेरियस. सो वी पुट दैट इनटू CDs and gave it to all the children. Then for teachers, I always have felt very strongly कि हमारे टीचर्स को एप्रिसिएशन हर बिल्कुल चाहिए. आप वही दे सकते हो जो आपको मिले, करेक्ट, जो आपके पास है ही नहीं तो आप दोगे कैसे उसको. तो एक अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में मैंने इंस्टीट्यूट करा एक टीचर एक्सलेंस अवार्ड्स, राइट. एक अच्छा क्राइटेरिया रख के कि आपको अवार्ड्स हमेशा एस्पिरेशनल होने चाहिए. आई फील फ्री के अवार्ड्स की कोई वैल्यू नहीं होती. तो उनको एक क्राइटेरिया रख के पूरे साल में आप इसके ऊपर एम फॉर द मून, एम फॉर द स्टार्स रैदर. तो उसके करके, एंड देन वी इंस्टीट्यूटेड दिस टीचर एक्सलेंस अवार्ड्स ओवर देयर. इसी में मेरे को बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग, शिव, मेरे को बच्चे ने सिखाया कि मैंने बोला कि एम फॉर द मून, तो बच्चे ने बोला पर मैम स्टार्स तो हायर होते हैं. तो फिर वहां से सीखा मैंने कि हाँ बेटा, बिल्कुल सही बोल रहे हो, एम फॉर द स्टार्स, मून तक पहुंच ही जाओगे, एंड ऑल दैट. सो दिस इज हाउ द जर्नी कैरीज ऑन. एक दूसरे से सीखना, ढेर सारी बातें हैं, ढेर सारे किस्से हैं हमारे पास, चाहे वो स्वप्निल है, चाहे वो शिव है. सो वी विल कंटिन्यू टू बी इन कॉन्वर्सेशन विद ऑल ऑफ यू एट उपाय. थैंक यू so much from all of us over here. Our heart is always with the educators. कुछ भी हो आप हमें reach out कर सकते हैं. And thank you so much. We just are very proud of being part of the education fraternity community, है ना. एक शिक्षक लोगों की जो कम्युनिटी होती है उसमें हिस्से लेने में बहुत गर्व होता है. So thank you so much. And in case any of you would like to say a parting shot या कुछ, most welcome. And then over to our UPAY people. एक bye bye message देंगे स्वप्निल.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for this wonderful webinar. The thing is that here also we एजुकेशन की चर्चा होती रहनी चाहिए. एंड यहाँ पे भी मेघालय में वी हैव स्टार्टेड सम थिंग्स टू ब्रिंग एजुकेशन इन फोकस, because education is the basis of everything, foundation of everything, and it's linked to everything. So if we get this right, I think all other things will fall in place. So that is why these kind of conversations are important. And yeah, more people should be involved. I think we should hear from more corners and from every level. So that will help us improve. Thank you.
शिव, आपकी तरफ से कोई
Yeah,
parting
thank you
shot.
so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Swapnil sir, Faraz sir, everyone, for having me. It means a lot. And education and educators की बात होती रहे तो बहुत बढ़िया लगता है. Especially the shortcomings a teacher faces. And again, thank you so much. It was wonderful.
Over to you, Faraz.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. The show is not over yet. Before we move ahead, we have our Upaya anthem. So I request Snehal to please share the Upaya anthem to everyone.
बच्चे को शिक्षा का आधार होगा, जब हर बचपन को जीने का अधिकार होगा, जब रास्तों पर ना कोई सोता मिलेगा, जब चौराहों पर ना कोई रोता मिलेगा. Na 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 na.
Wonderful. And I think one part which is still pending is for us, there are some Q&As, कुछ questions हैं. एक question जो
Yes.
मेरे पास अभी ये आया है कि how can students be encouraged or taught to express themselves better, which means चाहे वो alphabetic numeracy या whatever हो, right? What is emotional literacy basically? कि जो भी आप सीखते हो उसको express कैसे कर सकते हो better? Any thoughts? Any of our guests would like to go for this, please? To just, set the tone for it. मेरी तरफ से कुछ टिप्स. नंबर 1, हमेशा रीडिंग के लिए अपनी क्लासरूम्स में टाइम रखिएगा, राइट? नंबर 2, मॉडल रीडिंग खूब सारी करो अपनी क्लासेस में ताकि बच्चे आपको देखें और एम्यूलेट करें. बच्चे अक्सर रोल मॉडल की कमी से बोलना हेजिटेट करते हैं कि दूसरे लोग हमारा मजाक ना उड़ाएं. जब तक वो कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं बिल्ड करेंगे वो कभी भी आपसे कुछ नहीं पूछेंगे। नंबर 3, अपनी क्लास में सेट करके रखो एक रूल, नो क्वेश्चन इज अ बैड क्वेश्चन। आई नो बहुत मुश्किल होती है जब 30 या 40 बच्चे क्लास में होते हैं और वो क्वेश्चंस ही बेकार होते हैं, कभी कभी आपको लगता है, बट धीरे धीरे विद प्रैक्टिस पॉजिटिव रीइंफोर्समेंट कीजिए। जैसे अगर किसी ने पूछा यही क्वेश्चन कि चांद दूर है या सितारे, बहुत ब्रिलियंट क्वेश्चन है, इसको जैसे सर ने बोला स्टिकर दीजिए अच्छे क्वेश्चन को, क्वेश्चन ऑफ द डे, मीनिंगफुल क्वेश्चन को अप्रिशिएट करो। और वो क्या बोलते हैं कि जिस चीज के ऊपर आप फोकस डालते हैं वही चीज बढ़ती है। नॉनसेंस क्वेश्चन को इग्नोर करो। किसी ने धीरे से डाला, ए डब्बे में क्या है ये सवाल पूछ, उसको इग्नोर करो। अगर ज्यादा उसकी तरफ ध्यान दोगे तो वही बढ़ता है क्लास में, नॉनसेंस बढ़ती है। नॉनसेंस को इग्नोर करो, अच्छे की तरफ ध्यान दो, दैट विल ग्रो। जस्ट एनीथिंग?
um if it is about expression, I feel like कि सबसे पहले क्लासरूम का वो एनवायरनमेंट एक सेट हो जाना चाहिए कि जहाँ पर बच्चा चाहे इंडिविजुअली आपके साथ चाहे इन अ ग्रुप शेयर करने के लिए रेडी रहे, राइट। यू कैन फॉलो एनी ऑफ द प्रैक्टिसेस जो मैम आपने ही बताई हैं, वो बहुत ब्यूटीफुल प्रैक्टिसेस हैं। इसके अलावा जैसे मैंने अपनी क्लासरूम में एक पोडियम बनाया हुआ है। नाउ द चाइल्ड वांट्स टू कम इन फ्रंट, राइट, तो हु ही वांट्स कि भाई मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ सर। तो एट टाइम्स क्या होता है कि ऐसे कि चलो बोलो क्या बता रहे हो, उसकी सीट पे। तो जैसे कि सर मैं पोडियम पे आ जाऊँ, पोडियम पे डाइस पे खड़ा होकर बोलूंगा, तो मैं कम। सो इट बिल्ड्स दैट कॉन्फिडेंस वाली चीज है कि भाई मुझे जाना है। देन दैट दिस कंपटीशन बिटवीन स्टूडेंट्स की मैं भी जाके बता देता हूँ। सो एक वो है। देन वी हैव अ फ्रेम इन आवर क्लासरूम जिसको मैं हैंग कर देता हूँ सीलिंग से। अगेन दे वांट टू बी पार्ट ऑफ दैट फ्रेम, दे वांट टू come in front of the class and speak in the frame. And then there are the activities that we follow for its self expression, जो कि हम अभी स्टार्टिंग में कलरफुल शीट्स वाली बात कर रही थी। We have like written letter to father, letter to mother, letter to school principal, letter to teacher, letter to God, ठीक है, letter to my best friend. Now every letter is different from the other one, right? The child is expressing, or then he's allowed to speak, to write whatever he wants. I do not push him कि इंग्लिश में ही लिखो, हिंदी में ही लिखो, जैसे लिखना है, जो लिखना है, अपने मन की बात आप लिखो। Because when there was this letter to God, a problem arised. I noticed, sorry, कि एक बच्चे के घर पे था कि मेरे मम्मी पापा साथ रहे। So the child was, it showed me it was going somewhere else. So I talked to the guidance and counselor teacher we have in our school, and then he spoke to the child, spoke to the parents, and eventually we got to know कि बहुत कुछ चल रहा है उसके घर पे, and the child is going through a lot. So कुछ इस तरीके की एक्टिविटीज भी हम कर सकते हैं जिससे कुछ हिडन चीजें निकल के आ सकती हैं बच्चों के रिलेटेड।
वंडरफुल। एक और क्वेश्चन अभी आया है हमारे इसके लिए, वी नीड टू वर्क ऑन होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ फैसिलिटेटर्स ऑल्सो। ये हमने शुरू में ही बात करी, बिल्कुल। कोई स्ट्रैटेजीज हैं टू ट्रेन द फैसिलिटेटर्स फॉर द सेम? एब्सोल्युटली, अगर मेरी तरफ से करें तो अ कपल ऑफ पॉइंट्स। ट्रेन द ट्रेनर, ट्रेन द टीचर, जो भी है आप उसको कुछ भी बोले। नंबर 1, एक बेस लेवल होना चाहिए। जब भी एक टीचर आती है तो उसको हम बोलते हैं बेस लेवल कॉम्पिटेंसी, कि टीचर्स आपको ये चीज पक्का मालूम होनी चाहिए। जैसे कि क्लासरूम मैनेजमेंट में 2 तरीके बताओ, बच्चों को बैड लैंग्वेज यूज करने के लिए 2 तरीके बताओ, बच्चों को लिखाने के लिए, चिल्ड्रन हेट राइटिंग, स्ट्रैटेजीज फॉर दैट, राइट? सो ये एक बेस लेवल कॉम्पिटेंसी एक गाइड बना के रखिए, ठीक है? अगर उनको नहीं आता है कोई बात नहीं, उनको बोलिए ये आप पढ़िए, थोड़े दिन के बाद फिर से उनसे बातचीत कीजिए, राइट? नंबर 1। नंबर 2, हमेशा व्हेन यू स्टार्ट द सेशन, राइट, नया सेशन जब शुरू हुआ, सबके साथ 1 to 1 जितने भी एजुकेटर्स हैं सबको कंपलसरी है 2 नई चीजें जो आपने सीखी हैं पिछले साल, 2 या 3 या 4 बताएं। ओके? इसको हम बोलते हैं, बड़े बच्चों के साथ जब मैं इसको करती हूँ तो इसको मैं बोलती हूँ फेलियर रिज्यूम। भले ही आप फेल हुए हो, कोई बात नहीं, आपने 4 चीजें सीखी। फॉर इंस्टेंस, वेरी सिंपल, बच्चों को सुबह वेलकम कैसे करना है, ऐसे गंदी आंखों के साथ, ताकि बच्चे भाग जाएं, राइट, कभी आए ना आपके क्लास। और सिर्फ हर बार आप गुड मॉर्निंग नमस्ते, बच्चे बोर हो जाते, क्या मैडम वही दाल चावल खिलाएगी आज, ऑल राइट, व्हाट डू यू हाउ डू यू वांट टू वेलकम देम वेरी इंटरेस्टिंगली, ठीक है। एक कोई स्टापू बनाइए उसके साथ, या उसको आप बोलिए कि डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज में हेलोज बोलिएगा, ठीक है। या एक सैंड पिट बना दीजिए, जैसे आप क्लास में एंटर करें, आपको अपना फेवरेट फिगर, कैरेक्टर, पिक्चर का नाम, बंदे का नाम, शेप का नाम, कुछ भी करना है, एक एक्टिविटी के साथ उसको वेलकम कीजिएगा, ठीक है। और आप उसको एक डिफरेंट लैंग्वेजेस के साथ, हम ये बहुत करते होते थे कि आपने एंटर करा तो आपने क्या बोला, कोनिचिवा, वेलकम। सो बच्चे भी बड़े इंटरेस्टेड हो जाते हैं कि आज तो कुछ मैम नया बोल रही है। क्या होता है, न्यूरॉन्स पर्क अप, ठीक है, नहीं तो न्यूरॉन्स सो जाते हैं, ठीक है तो बहुत सारी स्ट्रैटेजीज। समय के पॉज के कारण आई विल कीप क्वाइट एंड मे बी माई फेलो हैव समथिंग टू शेयर, प्लीज।
I'll just like to add कि मतलब there's so many good examples जो आप लोग ने बताया अभी, और भी कई teachers they are so innovative in their methods of teaching all these things. So one important concept of that PLC, professional learning communities, which is there, uh, which is brilliant I think, and मैंने कुछ schools में देखा है कि some teachers are doing brilliant, and then these things are discussed and then it's replicated and shared. So that is something which is not happening. So we need to maybe have this master trade. I mean, those who are doing good, जो बहुत अच्छे तरीके से इन सब चीजों को कर रहे हैं, उनको मे बी डॉक्यूमेंट करें, शेयर करें, एंड बाकी टीचर्स के साथ. सो बेसिकली द आइडिया इज टू क्रिएट मास्टर ट्रेनर्स, because NEP also says, like, 50 hours of CPD to each teacher. So maybe it's not possible through way of diets and offline trainings. So maybe if we can, हम अगर इनको डॉक्यूमेंट करें और शेयर करें विद अदर टीचर्स, तो दैट विल बी ऑफ ग्रेट हेल्प टू एवरीवन.
ब्रिलियंट, आई जस्ट लव दिस आइडिया एज वेल, उसको डिफरेंट लैंग्वेजेस में आप लोगों से भी बोला जाता है, शेयरिंग ऑफ बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस सिंपल लैंग्वेज में, जो कि अभी सर ने बताया। 100% वी शुड मेक इट अ पार्ट ऑफ CPD, एवरी टीचर शुड अंडरगो CPD, राइट। जैसे कि ये 1 घंटा है, इसको भी आप CPD मान के चल सकते हैं, लेकिन आप जरूर पूछिएगा कि आपने क्या सीखा, आप इसको इम्प्लीमेंट कहाँ करेंगे। सीखने से क्या होता है, सीखने को तो मैं जाके इटालियन भी सीखा हूँ जाके, पर वो मेरे किस काम की, हाउ एम गोइंग टू यूज इट इन माय क्लास, इन माय प्रोफेशन, इन माय वोकेशन। सो talk about that, talk a lot to your teachers, to your staff, to your facilitators over there. Hmm? Okay, there are no more questions for us, so over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our speakers, स्वप्निल सर एंड शिव सर. मैंने खुद बहुत सारे नोट्स बनाए हैं आज के सेशन के, जो मैं खुद अपने क्लास में इम्प्लीमेंट करूंगा. ऑल्सो थैंक यू टू डॉक्टर मंजीत मैम फॉर मॉडरेटिंग द सेशन. बहुत ही स्मूथली आपने इसको मॉडरेट किया और आपके भी बहुत सारे आपने इनपुट्स दिए. सो थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच. ऑल्सो टू आवर ऑडियंस, आई होप आपको काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग थॉट्स आए होंगे, कुछ नए आइडियाज भी सीखने मिले होंगे, कुछ ऐसे आइडियाज जो खुद आप अपने क्लास में इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं. और जो आइडियाज आपने आज सीखे हैं, प्लीज इसको भी शेयर करें काफी लोगों के साथ, क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिसको ये आइडियाज की नीड है. सो प्लीज उनके साथ भी शेयर करें. और आई थिंक सो बहुत सारे और भी आइडियाज है जो हम डेफिनेटली खुद एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं. सो कीप ऑन एक्सप्लोरिंग. बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो हम हमारी क्लासरूम के अंदर, छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं जिसको हम इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं और बहुत ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट वो क्रिएट कर सकता है. तो थैंक यू वेरी मच एवरीबडी जिन्होंने भी ये सेशन को ज्वाइन किया है. और बहुत ज़्यादा थैंक यू उपाय की टीम को, जिन्होंने इतने सालों तक, अभी हमें 15 साल कंप्लीट हो जाएंगे और हमने करीबन 2.3 लाख्स को इम्पैक्ट किया है. और टारगेट तो काफ़ी स्टूडेंट्स को रीच आउट करना है और हम लोग डेफिनेटली उसको रीच आउट तो करेंगे ही करेंगे. सो थैंक यू सो मच एवरीबडी जिन्होंने भी इसको ज्वाइन किया है. और जो भी हमारे साथ बने हुए हैं, मैं उनको रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि प्लीज़ हमारे उपाय के सारे सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स को आप लोग प्लीज जरूर एक बार विजिट करिए. हम लोग बहुत सारे इंटरेस्टिंग और इनोवेटिव काम करते हैं. हम लोग यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल है, इंस्टाग्राम पे है, फेसबुक पे है, लिंक्डइन पे है। प्लीज हमारे काम को फॉलो करें, देखें कि हम लोग किस तरीके से अंडर प्रिविलेज कम्युनिटीज को रीच आउट कर रहे हैं। और देखिए, अगर आप लोग के पास टाइम हो तो प्लीज हमारे साथ वॉलंटियरिंग करें। हमारे पास वर्चुअल और ऑफलाइन वॉलंटियरिंग दोनों अवेलेबल है। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच एवरीबडी फॉर ज्वाइनिंग टुडेज सेशन। बहुत ही अच्छा था, और हम लोग ये चर्चा सेशंस को आगे भी कंटिन्यू रखेंगे। ऐसे इंटरेस्टिंग सेशंस हम लोग आगे भी कंटिन्यू करते रहेंगे। तो एवरीबडी इज वेलकम हियर। हम लोग हर बार कुछ ना कुछ नया सीखते ही रहेंगे। सो थैंक यू सो मच।